the past few months, I've fallen into a deep funk. This latest state of depression occurred because I could no longer move my power chair's joystick control to make a left-hand turn or correction. My wife had to often use the attendant joystick on my power chair to move me around. Welcome to another episode on the Myositis YouTube channel, a resource of information on how I cope with daily living activities when diagnosed with inclusion body myositis. After a few days of frustration and boredom, I decided to see if a different shaped joystick handle would make any difference. Cindy and I redesigned a taller control handle that actually did improve my power chair drivability for about 1 month. It was also during that time that I was researching an alternative drive system for my power chair. I studied the difference between proportional and non-proportional controls. Proportional is also referred to as analog controls and generally provide full directional control within a 360-degree circle and provide control of speed. Similar to the gas pedal in a car, the further the input device is moved from its neutral position, the faster the wheelchair will move. A non-proportional, often called a digital drive control system, operates like a traditional on-off switch. Simply put, the controls operate like a light switch and are either off or on, with no ability for the user to influence the speed or direction of the wheelchair through pressure or force on the controls.
Proportional examples for power chairs include joysticks, compact and mini joysticks, proportional head controls. Non-proportional options include head arrays, sip and puff, eye gaze.
A power chair control system is a great example of when analog is superior over digital, even in today's digital world of electronics.
Alternative power wheelchair drive controls must be recommended by trained professionals due to the complexity involved in selecting an appropriate product to be covered by insurance, and I am lucky enough to have one of our state's 3 mobility posture and seating clinic in the city where I live. All that was required was a referral prescription from my primary care doctor. The assessment should begin by addressing the reason for the referral and the desired outcome of the appointment. At a minimum, this should include the client's primary problems/issues related to their mobility status, postural support, health, safety, and ability to function within the environment. After a thorough review of my body's muscular capabilities, the first question I was asked by the clinic therapist as to whether my healthcare insurance coverage was the Medicare Original Part A and B, or if I had one of the Advantage plans. I was told that the original A and B plan usually cover some alternative power chair drive systems, whereas the Advantage plans normally do not offer that coverage. So, a word to the wise is to avoid the luring ads on TV regarding Medicare Advantage plans. When explaining my inability to move the joystick control to the left, the clinician technician first narrowed the dead band on my joystick control to make it more responsive. This seemed to help a little bit, but far from what I required for my diminishing hand control of my power chair. The clinician then showed me 2 types of chin controls, one that attached to my upper body and another connected to the back of my chair's headrest, and I tried both alternative systems. It was quite easy to control my power chair using my chin. I even demonstrated to myself and the clinicians that I could my chin to drive my power chair into our ramp band and lock the chair into the floor-mounted securement bracket. The technician also mentioned a swing-away mount available, but I too quickly eliminated that design to space limitations in my living environment on ramp band, and learned that this expensive might not be covered by Medicare. During the idle time when technicians were converting my power chair to the 2 configurations, I was thinking of several scenarios where one or the other mounting designs might hinder me, or my caregiver in my daily life activities. 2 major daily events came to mind: my sometimes rushed trips to the bathroom, and space needed to be lifted in and out of my power chair using our sit-to-stand lift. To get out of the chest-mounted apparatus, a small latch on the lower crossbar is open so the chest frame can be removed. For the headrest-mounted version, There is also a latch that allows the joystick to be moved out of the way. After a while, Cindy was able to easily swing away the chin joystick with one hand. Another consideration for choosing the mounting type for this type of chin control would be to realize where most of your mobility will take place. As the chest-mounted version follows the movement of your body, it may be better suited when operating on uneven or rough surfaces. It should be noted that the chest-mounted harness is more involved and takes more time to install or remove for use. If your mobility needs are more confined to level floor surfaces or smooth sidewalks, the headrest version will suffice and may be considered more user-friendly when you get in and out of your power chair. I selected the headrest-mounted chin drive design because of its ease of use in my application. The therapist said she would put the final report together and send it to my power chair provider along with the technician's list of required parts. About 30 days later, the components for installing chin drive on my power chair had been received and the installation appointment was made for approximately 1.5 weeks later. And here is my new mode of driving my power chair and refreshing my mobility. A few more adjustments by the technician was all that was between the clinic and the outside world. The X switch located at the right side is situated to be bumped with my head to turn the power chair to the on position and is also used to scroll through the power chair's seating functions such as tilt back, seat elevation, backrest positioning, and leg rest positioning. The various speed ranges are also available with a tap of the head to this egg switch. To turn the power chair off, a long tap of the egg switch is required.
The mini joystick operates like their original hand-operated joystick. Pushing forward will drive your power chair forwards. Moving it back will drive your power chair in reverse. And course correction is made by moving the mini joystick left or right.
And very importantly, during the inspection of my power chair, the technician suggested that I request a new set of batteries, and also a new set of armrests. The seating that I had originally specified on my power chair almost 5 years ago that included a deep contour backrest was still adequate for supporting my upper body. As described earlier in this video, all the power chair seat functions work well with the chin-mounted controls. This video episode explains only 2 of the alternative drive systems that an IBMer might consider in order to regain or continue their mobility when their hands and arms move to total uselessness. Let's review what we've just discussed. First of all, I explained how I would not have been very happy just sitting around in my recliner or staying in bed 24/7. Secondly, to go from power chair mobility to no mobility when I could no longer operate my power chair joystick, an alternative power chair drive method needed to be researched and obtained. In the research, I learned that Medicare and my supplemental insurance would cover many types of alternative power chair drive systems. The therapist concluded that my neck muscles were still strong enough at this time to operate a chin-mounted joystick with an egg switch for changing modes and turning the power chair on and off. This would be an improvement over having to ask another person to turn my power chair on and off every time. I looked at the drive control options available to me that Medicare and my supplemental insurance would cover. I chose the type that best suited the conditions in which I now operate my power chair. The clinic technician stated this was a good time to update any worn components on my power chair, so we decided to order a new set of MK batteries, armrests, and include everything on one request to Medicare. There are also new and exciting alternative drive systems coming in the near future that include smart glasses, where movement of the head and being used to steer your power chair and operate all of the seating functions. Thank you for watching this episode on the Myositis video channel. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I hope to see you in another episode soon.